Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our time of devotion and prayer for this week. This week I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to keep it pretty short today, but share something that happened with my daughter Caroline this week. Caroline is 4, and for whatever reason, my kids these days love to check the mail. I guess they're excited about the potential for fun surprises or postcards from Miss Barb. And so I was checking the mail with Caroline, and a book of mine arrived, and the cover of it had a ship kind of on a very, on big waves in the ocean. And she saw that ship and she goes, "Mommy, I know this story." Like, you do? Well, tell me about it. She was like, "Well, there was a big storm and the disciples were in the boat and they were scared and Jesus was asleep." And then he woke up and he calmed the storm. The storm stopped and they were okay. And she told me in even more detail than that. She knew the whole thing. And she said, "I learned that at preschool." She goes here to Good Shepherd Preschool. She has Miss Chris. She said, yeah, they had learned that story and she knew all about it. And I just, first of all, was so impressed that she had learned that story so well. But mostly I just love that she saw this picture of a random ship on a random book and thought, I know that story. I thought, gosh, that's how I want to be with my whole life. That's how I hope that all of us are with our whole lives. When something happens or when we come across something in our lives, I hope that we think, I know that story. You know, there's just such a rich variety of stories in the Bible, all about how God is with us and how God is at work in our lives. And I mean, almost any situation we get ourselves in, there's some kind of story that can help us through. Whether we're, going through something and angry with God. I know that story. Jonah did that too, and God loved him anyway. Or, if we're overwhelmed by everything we have going on. I remember that time Jesus felt that way too and went off by himself to pray. Or maybe sometimes we're worried that we're not going to have enough, that there's just not enough to go around. And man, we know that story of the loaves and the fishes, where they were sure they didn't have anything. And then so many people were fed with leftovers. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, but almost every kind of a storm that life throws at us, almost any kind of a challenge, there's a story for that. It also reminds me of a book that we're reading for our morning Bible study this month called Inspired by Rachel Held Evans. And she talks about the power of story, how the Bible is full of these rich, dramatic, creative, intense stories, and how they can shape us and how they can help us through. So today, our time of devotion is really just a celebration of the gift that we have in our scriptures, and my prayer for all of us that we would recognize those stories when we see them in our daily lives. All right, y'all have a good week.